Hello, this is CJ. One thing that happens to me after a concert is I get super amped, which is great. Because when I get like amped up, I can take a walk at night. There's a park. There's my building right here. And the park is like 1 block away. And there's a LED fire atop the regional art council, the central art, and then these features I'm particularly happy about. Let me first go back here. This is going to be a staging area for shows and concerts and everything when they finish it. And I'm a little distraught because it was supposed to be a path, but I think the path is going to be able to go like right in front of it. So when there's nothing going on, we'll still be able to walk a completed path, which is good because they do workouts during the day, on the weekends and some on a Wednesday. There's a whole schedule over here on that right there. It's like a whole schedule of events throughout the week, fitness events and stuff. And the path, the walk, is needed. It's part of that. So these LED trees that a sculpture put up, these are fabulous. These are great. And what's amazing is they're actually setting up tables. So we'll be able to come down here and have like picnics and lunch. Right underneath, almost within touching distance of these LED lights. I can't believe, that we have such up close interactive, we're not like personal interactive with it, but I mean, we're just becoming like LED Central down here. I'm loving it. Okay, so I've come out, I've taken a walk, I've done a little bit of exploring. Went to check my bank balance after the concert. We stopped at IHOP, and the guy ran my card and said it was declined. I think it's an IHOP thing because obviously, if you know anything about me, I'm gonna go check my balance as soon as I get home, and I did, and my balance is perfectly fine. There's like plenty of revenue, so yeah, it's an IHOP thing on the boardwalk. But this is not the first time that I've been to an IHOP. There was an IHOP that I went to in we had gone out of town and we were coming back, and I think there was an IHOP in Alexandria that I had the same problem with, as a matter of fact. So, and that was a few months ago. So that it doesn't, IHOP for me is a take cash place. I have a credit union card with the, so I don't know. Cool. Now that I've explained that I'm not a deadbeat with my credit, so I don't have great credit, but I don't have like established credit, so I don't have great credit limits. Okay, so I showed the stage where this path comes, and then we walk around. So I'm just gonna go ahead and walk it back this way before I end this video. I'm gonna put it on the YouTube as the closing of my adventure with this particular concert. But just to sum up my year with concerts, first I went to see the anniversary of it was the anniversary concert tour that Kenny Wayne Shepherd was doing a couple of months ago, and actually that concert took place, what the hell, I'm just going to show you. It's like right here. I was like, which way am I going? Okay, you're going to see this building in just a second. This is a very historical building which used to house the KWKH radio program that was nationally went out, called the Louisiana Hayride. And so the building is really great. So the Kenny Wayne Shepherd was, no, it wasn't. It was not. I'm getting all mixed up. But anyway, you'd be able to see it if it weren't so dark. It's right beyond these trees, and you maybe can see just the tip of the building there. That's, I'll show it some time of the day. All this is so close within my apartment. There's the second St. Mark's Cathedral before it went over to, started out being St. Mark's Church. Inward to downtown, moved over here, and then became a cathedral, and then they moved it to a Gothic, huge, massive structure in Highland on Kings Highway. It's just, these buildings are historic, by the way. Not just because they're buildings, but they had like cultural significance to our local area and the development of our town, which was crucial to the development of culture in America, by the way. Far beyond the reach of the idea of antebellum Old South. People say, "Oh, let's not talk about, you know, pre-Civil War." There's a lot more that went on in the South. So, you know, ensuing that Confederate pride, which I don't think people should really take much pride in, there's a lot more. So when we talk about I live in the southern United States, I don't want people to think that I'm, oh my God, because I do not have like, you know, Confederate flags up or anything like that. I'm not down with that kind of scene at all. Okay, so anyway, back to my point. I'm going to sum up my concert as I walk back to my building right here. And Kenny Wayne Shepherd, a couple of months ago, he was actually at the Strand, which is this is my building. It's on the back side of my building, catty corner. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And then tonight I did the Gyn Blossoms. Next week I have Foreigner. Then I have a show that I'm going to in Dallas, Dave Matthews. Great, right? And then I have another show coming up with my sister that we're going to see, Buck Cherry. Not Chuck Berry, but Buck Cherry. Those guys were great, by the way. And then, and I'm in recovery, and the lead singer of Buck Cherry talks candidly about his recovery and that it's still going for him, so I love that. I find it inspirational, and he's my age and sexy as fuck, and I'm my age and sexy as fuck, though he's like hetero and I'm not, so we're not a match, but we both love rock music. Anyway, we have some shit in common. Anyway, and then what else? Oh, after that, Pearl Jam in Oklahoma City, September. I just committed to that this evening at the at the end of the Gyn Blossoms concert. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this, you know, if it's at all possible. And then, of course, in November, the new guys, Greta Van Fleet, they're not exactly new. They've been rocking in town halls and concerts since they were in their early teens, some probably even earlier than that. They were probably like, from what I understand, probably Hanson age, but they were doing like classic rock, you know, honing that sound and everything. So now they're like young adults, you know, two twins, an older brother and their best friend, and they're in this band, Greta Van Fleet, and they are bringing like psychedelic rock with a touch of glam back. So that whole, they're drawing inspiration from 60s and 70s. And if you want to count that most of these guys also had careers going into the 80s, like Robert Plant had a career that stretched from the 60s into the 80s. So, you know, yeah, that influence is great. You know, actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, David Coverdale of Deep Purple, you know, was, you know, still active in the 90s. Maybe some way still active. Let me see where I can. Okay, so the back end of my building, the Fairmont's where I live. So the back end, I'm gonna zoom in here. Ooh, there it is. right here. That's the marquee of the Strand, and there, that's the steeple of it right there, and everything. So that's how close that my building is. So I'm great living down here with all this stuff. So I do not mind that. I mean, I think I am so sweet. I need to remember to be appreciative of everything that I have. Now, I live in an apartment that's been here since the 1960s, and it's 2022, and the same original damn appliances are in this building and work like they're just about that old, and they will not ever replace or remodel anything until they are forced to shut this thing down by the government and shut it down for good. But I'm gonna be like thoroughly grateful for what I have. And now I'm gonna walk to the Fairmont. I'm gonna walk to the back because I want to show what I've done, because I'm so like jazzed up on LED that I got some LED bulbs that I'm not quite certain that I've done yet. But the inside of my apartment, from the inside, like you know, one part of it's one section of the apartment's red, one section of the apartment is blue, one section of the apartment is green, and you know, I just kind of want to build upon that. And I have wonderful overhead lights, well, not wonderful, but typical overhead lights also when I don't want to use the LED lights. But at night I like to turn it on. So that blue light up there is mine. I'm going to come over to the side over here where you're going to be able to see the yeah, one right beside it. The red light is further back, so it's not as bright in the window, and it kind of gives off of through that window kind of a iridescent purpley. Then the other window over here, there's a actual green light, but it's not giving off the glow that I want to, so I'm gonna have to get another light to intensify that. But from the inside it looks really, really green. Okay, and then in my parking lot I can see those trees, and there's that right across the street. So I'm so close to all this art that even though my apartment building is trashed out, if they wanted me to move to a whole other part of town, to a beautiful, brand new, fully amended apartment, if it were more than a couple of blocks from downtown, I don't know that I'd want to. I don't know that I'd want to take it. You know, all these features are new, and they're going to be here for 40 or 50 years. You know, before they really start needing repair, as near as I can tell. I have a great view of the Neon Bridge. I don't know. But, you know, gentrification's a thing, and what they're going to end up doing is, I don't know. There's not that many places downtown currently that I could afford to live. So I just don't know that I'd want to give up my little corner of downtown. Anyway, I'm a little bit calmer. When I started this video, I was still like hiked up emotionally due to the having come from the concert. Concerts always give me wowed out energy. See, aside from the LED, we've got these wonderful oddball sculptures and structures throughout downtown that are neat too. So there's a lot more to South American culture, or not South America, Southern United States culture. You know, there's a lot more to us than you know. There's a lot more to us than those old days, like I said, that I'm not too keen on. So. But you see what it is? It's an exclamation point But then there's also a circle and a triangle. That's a very very typical modernized Egyptian symbol, by the way. So we all know about that. Okay, so, or if we don't, look it up. I love you guys. Have a good night.